You ever look at a stock chart and just feel lost? Like you're trying to read some kind of secret code? All those jagged lines shooting up and down? Well, what if I told you it's not a secret code at all? Let's dive in and figure out what's really going on with stock prices. It's a pretty common feeling, right? One day a stock is flying high, the next it's taking a nosedive. It can honestly feel like there's no rhyme or reason to it at all. And that really brings us to the big question. Why do these prices move the way they do? The good news is it's not random. Not at all. There's a logic behind the madness, and today we're going to solve this puzzle together. Okay, to really get a handle on this, let's use an analogy. I want you to picture the entire stock market as just one giant, super fast-paced auction house. That's it. Every stock is an item up for grabs, and every trade sets a new price. Just keep that image in your head as we go. So let's step inside this crazy auction. The one fundamental rule that drives absolutely everything, well, it's actually way simpler than you might think. At the end of the day, it all boils down to two words: supply and demand. Just like in any auction, a stock's price is a constant balancing act between how many people want to buy it and how many people are looking to sell it. And the dynamic is really simple. When you've got way more buyers than sellers, demand is super high. It's a bidding war. You can just picture the paddles flying up in the air, right? And that intense bidding pushes the price up. But on the flip side, if you've got a ton of sellers and not enough buyers, they have to compete for your attention. And how do they do that? Usually by lowering their price. And that's when the price goes down. Simple as that. So what gets people so excited in this auction room? What creates all that buzz? Well, it's a mix of things, really. Of course, if a company is doing great, people get excited to buy, but it's also bigger stuff, like the state of the economy, a huge news story that just broke, or even just the general mood of investors that day. Any of these things can cause a sudden rush to either buy or sell. All right, so knowing the price of a single share is one thing, but how do we figure out the value of the entire company? The total value of the actual thing being auctioned off. That is where this term you've probably heard, market capitalization, or just market cap, comes in. Think of it this way. The stock price is just the price of one ticket to go see the artwork. The market cap, that's the value of the entire masterpiece. It tells us the company's true size and scale. And you want to know the best part? It is incredibly easy to figure out. Seriously, you just take the current price of one share and you multiply it by the total number of shares out there. Boom, that's it. That number is the company's market cap. And using market cap helps us put companies into different size categories. You've got your large caps, we're talking over $10 billion. These are the famous masterpieces in the auction, the household names. Then you have mid caps, which are kind of like works from a really well-established artist. And finally, you've got small caps, the exciting newcomers that are generating all the buzz. Okay, so we get the rules of the auction and we get the size of the items. But what about the energy in the room? Sometimes an auction is calm and orderly, and other times it is an absolute frenzy. That brings us to our last big idea. That energy has a name: volatility. It's just a way to measure how much a stock's price is swinging around over time. High volatility is like that wild, unpredictable bidding war with massive price jumps. And low volatility, that's more like a calm, quiet auction where prices just move in small, steady steps. So a highly volatile stock is kind of like that exciting newcomer at the auction. The price could absolutely skyrocket, or it could totally flop. It comes with higher potential risk, but of course also higher potential reward. A low volatility stock is more like that famous masterpiece. It's stable, its price moves are smaller, and it generally comes with lower risk. So, we've walked through the auction house, we've learned the rules, we've felt the energy. But why does any of this actually matter to you? How can you use it? Well, it gives you a really simple but powerful toolkit. From now on, when you look at any stock, you can ask three basic questions. What's driving the supply and demand here? How big is this company? Really? And what's the energy level? What's the risk involved? Because once you really get a grip on these three core ideas, you start to realize the market isn't speaking in some secret code. It's communicating with you through price, size, and energy. You just have to know how to listen. So the next time you look at a stock chart, don't just see a random, jagged line. See the bidding war. See the masterpiece on the block. See the energy in the room. You have the tools now to understand the story behind the price. So the only question left is, what are you going to watch for?